Hello and welcome to day 5 of my video diary for coronavirus versus MS and vaccination. Basically today I'm feeling much better than I was yesterday actually. Even though yesterday the symptoms were very, well, what's the right word? Very faint and very few and far between, but I actually do feel a little bit better today. As I mentioned, today's day 5. It's actually, well, if I had my test on Thursday, result on Friday, and today being Sunday, so it's day 4 since my test. But I started this diary on day 5, day 1, which was Wednesday, because that's when we found out my wife had tested positive, and it just made sense to start it then, because I thought if we're living in the same house and she's probably not caught it that very minute, I've probably obviously been around her and stuff, so I would have actually maybe already got the germs, and it was just a matter of time. Hence why I did my test on Thursday and subsequently was positive. So as I mentioned, I'm feeling much better today. The lower back pain I was talking about, that's pretty much gone. The headache, I was telling you about the faint headache, that's pretty much gone. Well, that's gone. And so all that really remains is the lack of smell. So obviously I still can't smell anything, but I can taste. In terms of nose blockage, that's a little bit less, but I was doing my best to blow my nose last night and this morning, and that's a little bit less as well. So in terms of, I suppose, what I've still got left now is the not being able to smell and slight blockage in my nose. So it's definitely going in the right direction. I'm feeling definitely much better. Uh, what I did do was last night before sleeping, I had 2 Panadol extras. I'm being specific about this because when I had my vaccination, I straight after at the time of the vaccination, I spoke to the person that vaccinated me, it was just lucky that the person used to be a retired GP, and I said that because of my MS, I wanted to kind of preempt anything that might have happened. So, is it okay to take 2 tablets in advance? So when I told him, he said, "Yeah, you could probably get away with that." So that's what I did. So straight after my I think it was about 18 hours after my vaccination, I took 2 Panadols because I felt a slight pain, but I wanted to take it then before it kind of developed into anything else. Because obviously, with having MS and quite struggling with my mobility, anyway, the last thing I wanted was any other difficulties. So I wanted to try to get ahead of the curve, if you like. So yeah, so I took 2 Panadol extras last night, and it's something I've done over the last 4 or 5 days, but I've never taken any more than 2 on any one day over the 24-hour period. But yesterday I just thought it made sense because I just wanted to try to shake this off, so it made sense, and that's what I did. One really interesting development is basically I noticed this yesterday, and what I noticed was that if I consume high sugar content, and the ones in particular were chocolate, um, and what else did I have? Donuts, and I had a very sugary cup of tea. And usually you get like a sudden burst because there's general knowledge that you shouldn't really do have too much sugar because it gives you a sudden burst and then you're knackered later. But with this, I felt tired almost straight away within like 10 or 15 minutes. And I just thought I need to sit down. So I was in the garden at the time, and I just came inside and just sat downstairs and just almost didn't quite fall asleep on the couch, but just needed to rest and kind of just try to nod off. But didn't quite sleep, but that was really interesting. So I noticed this for the sugary products, so maybe something to bear in mind. And finally, as I've mentioned previously, unless I'd had the positive test, and obviously now I have the loss of smell, I really wouldn't know I've got anything because thankfully I'm still okay to move about as I normally would do. I'm still okay to transfer on and off my scooter as I normally would do. So whatever it is hasn't had that much of an impact on me. The only thing I keep trying to, I suppose, when you get to a certain point, you're almost convincing yourself you may have something. So when I start thinking about it too deeply, I'm thinking, am I breathing slightly less than normal, or is it slightly different? But I'm doing this video and I'm not really having any difficulties, but I think you start either getting a bit paranoid and being very intricate and detailed about how your body's feeling. So, but yeah, that's the only thing. I'm talking very, very small amount of the breathing, but that's only if I'm really focusing and trying to concentrate. Oh, did I breathe deeply then, or did I breathe slightly too fast then, or something like that? But as I mentioned, that's more about I don't know whether it's just paranoia or just me noticing very little small things that probably happens every day that I don't really notice, but only because of obviously the COVID-19 positive test. I'm probably being a bit more cautious and a bit more aware, and maybe even a bit more paranoid. But that's about it. And but yeah, I mean that's day 5. Let's hope I continue to get better. Um, One thing that's really been helping me is these fresh juices, and there's a couple of things that really helped. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a separate video for that, because I'll just harp on and here with that. But things I've generally found like through the course of these 5 days, things that have really helped me. So I'll do a separate video on that. But that's pretty much it. Let's hope and pray things continue. I continue to improve, don't get any worse, and hopefully can make a full recovery from the very mild symptoms I have. Okay, thanks everyone. Take care. Bye.